Hello collectors and coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to NT Coins World, where we dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we've got two Washington quarters to talk about that might just be sitting in your collection, waiting to surprise you with their hidden value. We're going to explore the 1977 Washington quarter and the 1983 D Washington quarter, both in fine condition. These coins might seem like regular circulating quarters at first, but they come with some pretty cool details and even potential value that you might not know about. So, let's get into it. Let's start with the 1977 Washington quarter. When we talk about Washington quarters, most collectors immediately think about the design, which has remained relatively unchanged since 1932, featuring the bust of George Washington on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse. But it's the subtle history behind certain years like 1977 that makes this coin particularly intriguing. Now let's take a closer look at this specific 1977 coin, graded as fine condition. In fine condition, the coin shows visible wear, but the design is still fairly recognizable. You'll see some smoothing of the details, especially on Washington's hairline and cheek, but the main features, including the inscription Liberty and the year 1977, remain clearly visible. On the reverse, the eagle is still perched confidently on the olive branch, but it's a little less sharp than when it was first minted. The mintage for the 1977 Washington quarter was 154 million coins across all mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. That's a pretty high mintage, so in terms of rarity, this coin is far from scarce. However, there are still a few factors that can make this coin worth more than its face value. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1977 Washington quarter is the potential for errors or varieties that can significantly increase its value. For example, some collectors search for double-die varieties, where there's a doubling of the design elements, typically seen in the lettering or the image of George Washington. These coins are rare, and if you're lucky enough to find one with such an error, it could be worth significantly more than a regular quarter. Another possible error to look out for is a messed-up die or other die anomalies, which could also enhance the value of this coin. In terms of market value, a 1977 Washington quarter in fine condition typically goes for around $5 to $10, but don't let the relatively low price fool you. If you happen to find one in higher grades, like about uncirculated AU or mint state MS, prices can skyrocket. Some higher grade examples have sold for $50, even $70 at auction, especially if they feature an error or are particularly well preserved. So while the 1977 Washington quarter in fine condition may not be a huge windfall, it's a great example of how collectors can find value in coins that at first glance seem fairly common. And don't forget about those varieties and errors. Finding a rare minting mistake can turn a modestly priced coin into a significant find. The second coin, alright, moving on to our second coin for today, the 1983 D Washington quarter. This coin, minted in 1983 at the Denver Mint, offers a different perspective from the 1977 quarter, especially when we look at the historical context and its place in US coinage. While the Washington design stayed the same, the world around these coins was changing. The 1983 D Washington quarter has a mintage of around 547 million coins. That's a massive number, and it makes this coin quite common. In fact, with such a high mintage, most 1983 D Washington quarters are easily found in circulation, making them not as rare as some other years in the series. However, just because the coin is common doesn't mean it's not worth considering for your collection. Looking at this coin in fine condition, the wear is pretty evident. Washington's portrait is still distinguishable, but much of the detail has softened over the years. The reverse shows the eagle perched on its olive branch, though again, the wear has reduced some of the sharpness in the design. In fine condition, this coin is a bit worn, but it remains a good representation of its time. So, what's the market value of the 1983 D Washington quarter in fine condition? Not surprisingly, it's generally valued around $5 to $10, which is pretty consistent with many other Washington quarters in fine grade. However, as with the 1977 coin, there are exceptions. If you find a 1983D in a higher grade, such as AU or MS, it could be worth significantly more, possibly anywhere from $30 to $60 or even more, for a coin in pristine condition. But the value doesn't just rely on the grade. For those who enjoy hunting for errors or varieties, the 1983D is no exception. There are some subtle varieties that can make a 1983D quarter much more valuable, especially if you stumble upon a filled die error. A filled die error happens when the die used to strike. The coin gets clogged with metal, which can cause certain design features to be weak or incomplete. These errors are rare, but can cause the value of the coin to increase dramatically, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and demand for the error. As we see with so many coins, especially in the Washington Quarter series, the condition and rarity of the coin play a huge role in its overall value. The 1983D Washington Quarter in fine condition might be common, but finding one in a high grade or one with an error can certainly make it a standout piece in your collection. So, there you have it, a closer look at the 1977 Washington Quarter and the 1983D Washington Quarter. Both may seem like simple, everyday coins, but when you dig a little deeper, they offer a glimpse into the history and intricacies of US coinage. Whether you're collecting for the beauty of the design, the potential for rare errors, or the simple joy of owning a piece of history, these coins are a great addition to any collection. Remember, value is all about condition, rarity, and sometimes just a little bit of luck. If you have these coins in your collection or you come across them in your travels, keep an eye out for those subtle signs of value, errors, high grades, and unique characteristics that can make a world of difference in the coin market. Thanks for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Washington Quarters, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have any questions or want to share your experiences with these coins. Stay tuned for more numismatic insights right here on NT Coins World. Until next time, happy collecting.